This episode is brought to you by RIXX Eyewear. Eyewear that inspires confidence. If you would like to buy some premium eyewear, sunglasses, blue light frames, prescription, head online now, rixxeyewear.com.au and check it out. CAPZ has been Australia's home of headwear since 2012. From snapback to fitted, curved peak to flat peak, our hats will fit anyone and everyone. Since then, we've grown and evolved into the leaders of US sports apparel in Australia. Head online at capz.com.au and check it out. Righto, let's get into the show. Right, straight off the top, who's a better looking Hill?
What do you reckon, mate? I think Bobby knows too.
I think Brad's got the big.
What about me messaging you boys yesterday? And I always say it with the guests. I say, whatever you don't want to talk about, you just let me know. And Brad goes, yeah. I don't want to talk about how good looking I am.
He loves himself.
What did Bobby say?
Can't say that. How are we?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Off season. I'm trying to think about how long you been in off season mode for?
Is it 4 weeks, I reckon?
Yeah.
About 4 weeks. So, week off before final started, so nearly come up to grand finals.
So you normally get the 2 weeks just to drink piss and carry on and rest the body.
A bit older now, so I get 3 weeks.
Oh, so, 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks of sort of nothing and then get into running again. So
you're back into running? You two train together?
Well, Bobby only just got down. When did you come?
Monday.
Like Monday. So we'll do a bit of training with each other. Went for a run yesterday. Maybe get him on the pads and teach him a few things.
Who's in better nick?
Probably big boy here next week.
Big boy. I'm a bit of a big boy. Still can run, but.
That's great. How long are you down here for?
Probably just off season.
Yeah.
Maybe till Christmas and then go back to Perth.
Yeah, mint.
With the partner and the little one. But yeah, I don't know, just stay here for the whole time.
We'll talk about being fathers. How's it been? You both got bubs that are
about 2 weeks. Yeah, a week or two apart. So it's awesome having them both together as well. It's funniest thing when you see them with each other and they see each other, they just start smiling.
Yeah, so, that's gross, isn't it?
And then even it's like, doing little things, feeding them together, bathing them together. That is like it's pretty cool having like two kids at once. But I couldn't imagine having twins though. Looking after two on your own.
I looked after them by myself for like 10 minutes, and I put Bobby down and looking for Harriet. She's literally like going for the door. I'm like, far out.
They're rolling now,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They're on the move a fair bit. So, but it's been the best thing ever, just having little ones, and you sort of look at life a little bit different.
They always say that. I remember being in the locker room and we'd be stressed about. I think it was I was at Freo. They were always stressed about meetings, and you'd see all the old boys with kids, and they just, who cares, man? Just like go home. Perspective when they get back, they're like when they see their kids, they used to say, "Oh, it doesn't bother me once I see the kids."
Even if you are having struggles at footy, everyone does anyways. But just coming home and you got the little one there, sort of like you sort of forget about footy and you just focus on what you're doing then and there. So it's been awesome. Yeah,
and what about sleep? This is the one question I used to like. Do you get much sleep?
Oh, Bobby's like when he was like a bit younger than what he's now. Like he's got 8 months now, but he was like perfect. Only last night he was just a little shit out. Like,
oh really?
Man, he woke up at 1 o'clock and then just couldn't get back to sleep.
Yeah,
like 5. That was the only time. Other than that, he was perfect.
Oh, that's all right. As long as in season you're laughing, who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been lucky, man. Like pretty much since Harriet's about 3 or 4 months, he sleeps 12 hours a night, every single night.
12 hours?
Mate, it's crazy. And then she'll still probably nap 3 times a day as well. So it's crazy, man.
Sounds like Bobby.
Yeah, and me too. I love my sleep as well. So it's
little nap,
mate. It hasn't made it hard because we've been getting all our sleep. So it's made it a lot easier.
Compared to previous off seasons, now that you're dads, like what are your plans? You normally travel and go around. Whatever you do, you get 10, 12, 14. They get probably 16 weeks now.
Yeah, I think it is like.
What are your plans? Just to stay home?
It is a bit harder, as in like, what you like when you're younger, you can just go off with the boys, go to the pub whenever. Now it's like, I've got to book it in 2 weeks in advance, is it all right, I'll go to the pub with the boys next week? You know what I mean? Like even like I remember like our wacky Wednesday, like was the whole team. I was home at 7 p.m, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
really? Just got to get home.
I know I've got to wake up in the morning and deal with the little one, and it's hard when you're hungover.
Is there like brownie points? Like you just start putting in heaps of extra work when you know there's something coming up?
I'll do the washing. No, you haven't done the washing in a while.
I always get told like, what are you doing that for? What do you got this week? I'm like, I got the whacking Monday or something like that.
There's always an event around the corner.
So what are you doing this for? Oh, I've got something on the weekend.
That's gross. What about Spring Carnival? You boys going to any events there?
Yeah, I definitely want to go. Obviously, there hasn't been anything on the last few years. I've been back in Melbourne, so and I sort of don't mind having a little punt here and there lately. Yeah, it'd be awesome to go there and watch because I've been Melbourne Cup once, and that's the only race I've watched live. So yeah, I've got a few mates that are into it, and we actually bought into a horse not long ago.
What horse you got?
Oh, mate. I couldn't even.
Is it a donkey or a horse?
I couldn't even tell you, but my good mate Jared's got a few horses, and they're boom racing with Henry Dwyer and that. And yeah, they said, chip in for this horse, and I said, here, take me money. Hopefully it wins, eh?
Well, I know I've got a few mates. Shout out to the boys that own Snap Dancer. Have you heard of that horse? It's just literally, I think it's just entered into the Everest. Anyway, there's a good crew of 30 lads. I know Cammy Manuel and a few of the boys, but it's winning millions. Like it won't stop winning Group 1s.
That's crazy.
It's crazy because it's rare as anything, but you can only imagine the other side of how many people have got a horse and it doesn't even run a drive.
Well, to be honest, like I don't think we paid too much for this thing.
Oh, that's right.
Like I got a 5% cut, but I didn't pay a hell of a lot.
It's like Willow. Willow's got all the he's got all the dogs up in Perth.
Oh yeah, he loves.
They're a bit cheaper, the doggies. He's got like
$500.
I mean, he was training like 20 there at a stage, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think he had a few.
I don't mind the dogs; they're a bit cheaper.
Yeah, let's jump on the 1 and the 8, I reckon.
Yeah,
or 7 actually.
Oh mate, just picky. I think Griffin Logue's a big 6 man. The 6 is the stinkiest colour going around.
Yeah.
So when it wins,
you get trapped in the inside. You get hit, you're done.
But when it wins, it pays big.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's talk about this year. Big year for both of you. But start with you. How are you going? And feel comfortable if you don't want to talk about this too much. But it's really devastating news. I think round 11 or 12 wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 11.
Yeah, diagnosed with testicular cancer, which was a huge shock to all your friends and obviously you. How'd you deal with that, and how's this year been? How challenging has it been?
Yeah, it was because I knew it was before it got out. It was before it's 2 weeks before.
Oh right. So you played with it against Brizzy?
Yeah, so I played it up in my last game. Obviously playing that this year. Obviously my close mates knew. Told the boys, I was a bit embarrassed, but now I just find I'll help people. Like some people message me and be like, "Oh, I found this,"
Yeah.
But now I'm just like an open book. I'll talk about it now. But at the start, I was embarrassed, knowing that. But it was a bit scary at the time, knowing why me. And other than that, I'd had good support, obviously with my manager, family. Obviously had Brad here as well. So
yeah.
I was now I'm feeling good. Over it now. Just do tests every couple of months.
Yeah.
To keep on top of it. But yeah.
For someone like me, because I don't actually understand, how do you diagnose it? How did you know you had it?
Yeah, I was in the shower and I just felt another
a lump or something.
Big lump. So I was like,
that's the first sign.
Didn't you say you had a little bit of pain as well, hey?
Yeah, so you get hit in the say you get hit in the nuts.
Yeah,
and you just get that feeling. I was getting that during training, just running, and I was like, far out, just doesn't feel right. Went to the doc, and then it was give it a couple of days, and then we'll go get a test. And then I was literally joking to my partner. I was like, "Oh, I've got it," and she goes, "Oh, don't say that." And literally come back, ended up having it.
Fuck, what were you thinking at the time when you received that?
I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah,
that was my main thing. I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna die."
It's crazy, man.
But yeah, I got onto it early. Shout out to the docs and that. They were perfect. The surgeon got onto it real quick. Dill mostly looked after me with all that type of stuff. So
Dill Addison's a superstar, isn't he?
As soon as I told him, he was just on top of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, got on top of it. Don't have it anymore now. So
it's great that you're speaking up about it because it helps everyone. If anyone identified themselves in the shower with a lump, they know what to do. What is the first step? Go see the doc, and then obviously they go get you a test. What kind of test do they scan?
It's an ultrasound.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple others
Did you do blood tests and stuff or not?
I didn't do the blood test at the start, but once I found out I had it, so they can know what type of cancer it was. But yeah, as soon as you feel a lump, I gave it a couple of days because I was asking the boys, because I had a lump on there before. I just thought it was normal. And then literally kept going in pain, but didn't have it like that.
Yeah.
So then went to the doc, give it a couple of days, and then if it was still there, then we'll go get a test and stuff. So
yeah. And then when did you have surgery?
It was literally, we played that, was around 11 against Brisbane.
Yeah.
It was, when did we play Saturday? It was that Wednesday, the Wednesday after.
So straight into it.
Yeah.
Did you chop up on that weekend as well?
Kicked the first one, didn't get a touch afterwards.
Oh, that's right. Normally it's the other way around. You kick the first and you're, I'm on today.
I thought I was on, and then I had 3 or 4 touches and then a couple tackles. I was like, fire, I'm going to have a good game here for my last one. And then,
How were you going into that game? Were you a bit, because you wouldn't, had you told all the boys at that
yeah,
point?
the boys
the
knew.
boys knew.
Yeah. So like, once I kicked the goal, everyone got around me and we just kicked a bit more. But other than that, no, it was all good. Like obviously everyone knew, but they just kept it on the DLO for that until the media come out with it.
Yeah, of course. And then what's so you've had the surgery, everything's gone well, which is fucking great. And then you got back to playing this year, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So what does the recovery look like?
It was like 10 weeks, like not running for 2, no lifting for like 3, like no sweating for 2 weeks, sorry. And then like running straight afterwards to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I went back to Perth for a week or 2 weeks and I did a little bit over there. So once I got back, I was straight into it, which is pretty good.
And then you just get checkup scans from here on in?
Yeah, I just do blood tests it goes up like 2, 4, 6 months, like keeps going up until 2 years. After 2 years, I'm done. Like, Yeah.
Nah, super, mate. Thanks for sharing, because there's a lot of blokes out here that, me included, I've got no idea, I haven't really heard too many stories or people talk about it. So yeah, it's a big shock, wasn't it?
Yeah, bloody oath.
Did you get the call as well?
Yeah, he told me pretty early on once he found out, and you do get, bloody worries, you're thinking, far out, he's only so young and he's got that, and it's pretty scary. And then even for yourself, then you start, having a look and feel, and and it's like, it is. You
scary. Don't think about it until you hear someone that you love. Not. It's got, you know what I mean? Puts it into perspective a little bit.
Definitely.
Back to what about your season, mate? How would you sum I don't really talk too much footy, I'm always just watching the boys having a laugh, I just literally laugh when I see my mates on television, but how'd you sum it up?
I thought my first half of the year was pretty good. And then we played some good footy as a team as well, so that probably helps. And then the second half of the year, probably a little bit up and down, a bit inconsistent, but it was a little bit like us as a team. So, it would be good to have a full season, good, you know what I mean? But we'll be
the Sainers are a funny one. Like they're so good and they're so not poor. I'm not going to say poor. They flirt around the edges of that eighth. Don't you? Like you're right there.
Yeah, it can be frustrating at times. Yep.
Are you you played predominantly half back this year, and a bit of you got forward late.
Yeah, half back and then a little bit of forward every now and then. Depends on who we're sort of playing.
Why are they putting you on the wing anymore? I've only ever known you as a winger.
Same here, mate.
Took me spot at Freo, mate. He's the best wingman you ever. Like runs like him and Ed Langdon. I've never seen GPS data like it.
I don't know. Last 2 years, literally last game of the year, I played the second half on the wing, and I was like, I feel comfortable out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know why I haven't really been playing wing, to be honest. But I think maybe early on I wasn't really getting involved being on the wing. I think the last couple of years, sort of footy changed as a winger, that position, or maybe sort of the way we played, we didn't really, use those sort of players or use that width a bit. You know what I mean? So that's why I think the change came.
Well, at the Giants, I was a winger. We call it paint the fence, mate. You're just out there literally. I've said it before.
Running 150s.
Yeah. You want to play behind the winger so you get the ball.
Yeah. I was getting told to run it, so I was lazy.
So let's go back to last year. The doco, obviously it's well. We're not going to talk about any trades. I know you had a contract, all right, but the doco, like, what was it like? Saying I want to go to the Dons, and then and then it doesn't go through.
It was that embarrassing.
And then they drop it. They drop it like when you're back at preseason. So all the boys would have been tuning in.
No, they were all good. Like only one was given. I wasn't given. I would message them. I was like Big C.
Yeah.
I said no, they were all good, but it was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was good. No, I
didn't want to go back. I didn't want to go back and be like, I just asked
you've thrown the kitchen. I hope you got some commission from that doco because you threw.
First day of training would have been tough, eh? The anxiety levels.
Like getting the tattoo, that trade didn't go through. Okay.
I was too busy getting a tattoo. Yeah, I was getting a tattoo and I was like, man, this is hurt. Like, they started going, you didn't get traded. And I was like, fuck, hurry up and finish this tattoo. I want to go get blind.
Drown the sorrows, yeah.
Drown the sorrows.
I remember, I think they tried to do it this year. I said, no, I'm not doing it.
Are they doing it again?
Or they tried.
I think they actually are doing it again.
It's good footage. It's good footage.
I'm not doing it again.
Yeah. I mean, you did well.
It's a bit more inside, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great
For
insight.
people that don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a stitch up. So when did you go back to, like, when was that shot? Like over a good...
That was in Perth.
They would have shot heaps of footage.
Where were we? We were in Perth. It was like straight away when we finished the season.
Yeah.
I was back in Perth.
Throughout the finals and then early off season. Oh, because trade period's just after... Yeah.
Did they give you dollars?
Yeah.
Oh, they paid you. Oh, at least they paid you to be on
That's
it.
why he's on it. Look, getting paid. Yeah,
That's what you say to the boys. I'm just milking it. Just giving them the
Why do you want to get judged?
I read the script.
Give me money.
They end up floating to play like that. That's great. Well, you'd love to be on one of them. You'd be great
mate,
value.
no way.
You'd be great value, not for trade, but like just following a camera following you around.
Yeah, you're thinking his big doll walked out.
Big doll.
If that was me, I'd just be on the phone, mate.
Oh, mate. No, I thought it was, it was very interesting. And yeah, I can only imagine like going back the board. But the Giants, mate, how good of a club, club are the Giants?
Yeah, no, the boys were.
They love
we're
that
just
stuff.
a close like bunch, so like
Yeah.
it was all good.
And they've done the doco with Cogs the year before, so they're kind of used to the cameras following them.
They're always getting blokes leaving there too.
Yeah, there's a
Blokes always getting traded from
few
there.
blokes. Yeah, there's a few blokes. They've left some footage on the. They left some footage out.
Yeah.
That's one thing. How much footage did they film? Obviously, there's a doco,
Oh, yeah.
but did they leave anything that you were a bit flat they didn't put in? Like, was there anything that you're like, oh, what about this? Or did they get most of it?
I think they got most of it. I didn't want to do too much. No. Every time I was like, oh yeah, I'll be keen, and then I'll just think, fuck, the boy's gonna give me shit for this.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think they got too much stuff. It was just more like literally in there for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah. Cole Young, he's obviously a character. He's
a character.
You with Cole?
Yeah, I'm with Cole too, yeah.
So I was with Paul Connors, but I just see Cole. He's the man around town, isn't he?
He's got a big suit in the bath in the water.
Oh, that's the best shot, isn't it?
Big fella.
What's he doing?
What would he bench press, big Cole?
I reckon in his prime he would have been like a 140, 150
He's
guy.
a man.
He's a machine.
He's massive.
I love the way he goes about it.
Yeah, just straight out.
And then Dukes, them two, obviously. Is it just them two, Dukes and Cole?
Yeah.
And how many players do they represent now? They're pretty big.
Pretty much all the Fremantle.
Yeah, they run the Freo Footy Club.
Bit of West Coast. There's a fair few West Coast boys.
They got Norton, couple like
Pretty much WA, don't they? They have all the WA
all
boys.
the WA
Slammer.
boys.
Yeah.
it's about it, eh?
Yeah, they've got a few.
Once footy's all done, do you guys see yourself staying in Vic or WA?
No, I'll stay. I reckon I'll be in Victoria. Like Sam's from here, all her family's here, so you know you got to keep the missus happy, you know.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
No, I reckon I'll definitely stay.
Happy
here.
wife,
And then,
happy life.
Yeah. No, you know, I feel like there's a bit more opportunity over here than there is in Perth. Like Perth's a lovely place, and my family's there, but there's a few more things you can do over here.
Clock Perth with Clock
Yeah,
Perth.
we clock Perth, mate. Be there, done that.
Banana Social. You can only do so many of them. Final club.
Every weekend, eh? Friday to Sunday.
You know, you both played finals, but this bloke, 2013, 2014, 2015, you've won premierships, you know, and you've only 5 years in at that point, or 4 years in?
4.
So 4 years in and you've won 3 flags. Honestly, looking back now, like, how do you sum that up, man?
It goes so quick, you forget about it. Like I sort of forgot like how it feels, but like I got some footage. Like I had a GoPro one year, and like it goes for like an hour and a half, and pretty much everything from once the game finishes.
Oh, did you film it all?
Yeah, and I filmed
that's
it all,
great.
and it's like you look back at that, and it's like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And like, even Hawthorn have a few clips that they sent us, and I've got them saved and stuff. And you look back, and it's like, fire out, that was like one of the best days ever, But it just goes so fast, and you wish you could just get back there again. And like, and I played since then. It's been my last one 7 years, and I played a couple finals games.
Yeah, so you've gone 3, and that's what happens. Then it happens early, and I think that's what Josh Dunkley about. Like he wins one in his first year, then he loses one last year. And now it's like, you don't really, you do appreciate it, but you're so raw and young that you don't understand how hard it is for.
Yeah.
I mean, all the old blokes like you're looking at Paddy Dangerfield at the moment.
Yeah.
Goes into a grand final, like he's just wants to win one. He's at the end.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to go 3 out of 4 years, mate. Is that a record?
I reckon I would be pretty close to being the youngest player to have 3. You'd think I was 22 when I had my my third.
Yeah.
But it's not funny, like when you go to clubs and stuff, and people always sort of bring up, like they do say, oh, Brad's done it or whatever, but like, we need to, we want to get there as a team again. And I'm like, but like I do as well. Like I want to fucking get there and win another one. Like I reckon it'd be better win another one now at this age. Like I feel like I'll take it in a bit more and enjoy it a bit more. And
you've worked hard as for it as well.
Yeah, and also just like I'll know what to do. And like after, your celebrations and, walking around the ground, like I'll a bit more carry on, I reckon, than what I did when I was younger.
Did you keep a lid on it?
Oh, yeah, I was pretty crazy. I was just like, walking around, didn't know what to do sort of thing, you know what I mean? Where now I'll be like, the cup will be with me the whole time.
Surely you know what you're doing after 3. Surely you know what you're doing after the 3rd one.
I know, but, there's a lot of big dogs at Hawthorn, so they sort of, hey, Hilly's tape down, mate.
What do you think? Like, I know 2013, because obviously I was at Freo and I was emergency, but your brother, Stephen, who we love so much, your mum was at the game. I remember she was wearing a half Hawthorn, half Freo jumper, and that would be the worst, not the worst, but the most exciting position. But
at least I know one of your sons will you're going happy either way. Yeah. No, I still remember that, and I remember like after the game, even though I was so happy that I won, but I was like at the same time a bit sad for my brother because I was seeing him on the ground sitting down with his like emotions and whatnot, and I was a little bit like a bit emotional for him as well. And I always say, I don't wish I could give him one, but like, at the same time, I wish I could, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Knowing if I was going to win 2 more, but like I'm happy I got the 3.
Yeah.
But, like I sort of wish my brother was able to enjoy that and get a win as well.
How big was he as an influence for you growing up?
You know what Stephen's like, he's pretty quiet, so he doesn't say too much, but I guess I sort of looked up, just the way, he was always a bit better than me. Was always better than me at everything. And like in footy, like as a youngster, he was always the best, you know what I mean? And like, he just was always the best in everything he did. And I was sort of like, I'd always be like 3rd or 4th in my team. And then, but like, I sort of just enjoyed it a bit more. Stephen was a bit more serious and, did everything like elite. And then, when he got drafted, I was 15, so I'm 3 years younger than him. And I sort of was just still having fun playing footy, and I was a bit of a rat bag running amok,
Yeah.
just having more fun with my mates and playing footy, you know what I mean? And then probably when I got about 17, 18, then I sort of took it a bit more serious, and I was like, it'd be pretty cool doing what Stevens.
You kind of, I didn't really know much about you. You're what, pick 40?
But like, so when I was playing over in WA, so I played West Perth. Even like my underage, I played like 4 or 5 games.
Did you fire a shot, you reckon, looking back?
Yeah, I was pretty lucky, I reckon, in a way. Like in 2000, my top age, they picked the state team, and then they needed a couple like top up numbers. So I was like one of the last blokes to get in the WA team. So like I was never even thought I was going to play state under 18s. And then I got in the team, but I only played like 18 minutes over the carnival. So like I didn't play much. But I was thinking I was going to maybe get rookie drafted if I was lucky. And then I think just when I was at draft camp, Hawthorn talk about the reason they picked me up because the day before the beep test, so the record was held for like 10 years, like 15.4 or something. And they said, what are you going to run in the beep test? And I go, I reckon I'll probably run 16. And they sort of like a laugh at me. And I was like, because 2 days before that, when WA did a practice one, I ran like a 15.8. So I was like, I'll be able to get 16.
Yeah.
And then me and Will Hoskin-Elliott were running it together, and he got like 15.11. I was like, he's done. So I just went up and back, and I got 16.1 or something like that.
So good.
And then they go, that's the reason like we picked you up, just like, your mindset, and you saying that you got to do that. And then, they ended up picking me up, pick 33.
I remember this bloke robbed me, man. So we did 3Ks, 3K time
3K,
trial. I had the same thing. I think it was, I wanted to go to Essendon, and they're like, what are you going to do in the 3K? And I'm like, I'll break 10. And they all kind of laughed at me. And I've broken 10. I've gone 9:57, but Brad and Will Hoskin-Elliott, they were the group after.
Yeah.
So I won my heat, but I don't think I would have beaten their time, but I think there was like $1,000 or something, $500 from NAB.
Yeah.
They gave like,
I got that.
Yeah, and then so I've got the leaderboard. I'm going, fuck, I'm taking home some cash here, right? And then there's one heat to go, and Wilbur and Bradley have gone out that hard. I'm like, fuck, their heat looks quick. And I think he's ran like 9:52. I was burning.
Yeah.
I was trying to take the trophy home.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get me too.
And that's when I
remember I was cooking that last like 200
you boys
meters.
were
I'm
humming.
like, fuck, I'm not going to catch him. And then I remember like he was coming, we'll batter over Alex Woodward.
Yeah,
and I was on the outside, and then Will got like stuck behind him, and I went around him, and I was just taking off.
Yeah, the crowd. I remember all the recruiters were like, these guys are humming. And that's kind of when everyone was like, geez, who's this bloke? And they're like, it's Stephen's, like, it's at that time, it's Stephen's brother. And it's like, fuck, this guy's going to be anything,
Yeah, he's Brad's brother, right?
Yeah. Bradley's brother. That is fucking good. What about so back to the Hawks days, and I know I only want to harp on about it because it's finals. So what do you think makes a great finals team? Like, why was Hawthorn so good, and why do you think you won 3 flags? What was it about that team?
I know. People always probably talk. I know that offense and stuff. Obviously, we had a lot of talent in that forward half. The way we moved the footy and stuff. But I thought the way we set up defensively, like our zone, like we're a pretty hard team to get through. And I think we focus a lot on the like simple things. People always say that, the simple things, but like your first gives, being clean, all those sort of things. Like not trying to do anything over the top and be the hero in a way, but even though Hodgie was the hero a few times, but and Shawnee Burgoyne, but just doing those sort of things and not going away from those things, and it makes the team more predictable, and you win those big games. And I thought Hawthorn did that consistently. You're
just so good at, I guess, how do I does. We felt like we worked way harder when we played just like we were all effort, play your role. And we'd be, we'd probably all running 14, 15K. And then the Hawks boys are like, they're probably running 11, 12. They're just smart. Yeah. And you should use the ball so well, and you'd set up.
The communication at that club, I've never heard any other club like that. And even clubs I've been a part of, I'm like, it's so much different. Hawthorn were here, where I am now is here. Everyone was just coaches out there, everyone's just setting you up, even things Sammy Mitchell would be 10 metres off from a stoppage, but he couldn't make it, and the ball's going to get thing, he'd push me in, and then I'll be in the stoppage, but then we'll just release, things always just talking while we're on the move and set up, and even you say, blokes not running as much, if they're getting caught at us as wingers would, take the midfielder's man, and then if we win it back, then good position as well. But just playing your role and helping your teammates out. We just couldn't get near Hawthorn. There's so much going on. We could never work out who's bloody dropping out, who's playing the high. Oh yeah, that's
there's so much move.
Even me and Isaac on the wings, would cross over.
Plays,
We're now I'm I don't know if I would. I don't know if the other bloke would know. Me and Isaac would just play so much footy with each other that we could just run and be on that wing. Then I'll just pull out to that wing to help him out.
Yeah. And what about grand final week, just while we're on the topic? So, you've done it 3 times. First time, as you said, bit of a blur, you're young. But the second and third time, you would have been like, this is, I've been here before. How do you describe it?
Yeah, it's an exciting week. There's a lot going on. And there's always so many people around you, training. There's so many people, I lived in Hawthorn at the time too, so walking the streets, there's so much Hawthorn
free
stuff,
coffees, I would have thought all week.
Yeah, I can't even remember, to be honest, but I remember there was free drinks after winning one. But literally, it's pretty crazy. And then the parade, as you know, sitting in the back of the car, it's pretty cool sitting there, and you just got all these, hundreds of thousands of people just on the streets watching you, and it's awesome. And then I reckon even when you get to the game and you're just warming up, and just every time we play in the grand final, it was hot and sunny too. So just that sun out, and there's so many people in the crowd. Good, it's just wow, this is what you play for in a way.
Fuck, I remember 2013. I was the emergency, and the emergencies go in the Hiluxes. So
I was there when the Giants made it too. I was with Big Sing.
Oh yeah. How funny is it, mate? Oh. You're emergency, and you're in the Hilux, and you're waving at everyone. Who the fuck's that guy? It's I'm in the 25.
They should have kept you on the bus, eh?
They did it, the Giants. I went on the footy show the night before, and I'm not going there again. Yeah. Well, how is that though? As emergency, it's great, but it sucks. It doesn't it? It's a bit of a, I guess it's no one thinks about you really in that position. They go, oh, he's playing his role, but there's this burning desire to get there and play, but it's so hard to get there, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that was my first year. Giants were flying. And I played my first game against Richmond that year, and they smashed us at the MCG, but just getting there and you're in the, your first year and you're far out, be a part of this. Because we had, how many people Giants had heaps of people injured.
Dropping like flies.
And I remember I was emergency, so I was obviously sitting there, and it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes before, just got told to get ready. I'm far out. I'm not playing, because I think I was waiting for Phil. And then obviously he played. And then I was getting changed, had to get changed again, go right up to the stands and just watching. And when Jazza kicked the first goal, I was far out. We might be on here then. Yeah. Straight down here, they were just...
It was hard to watch.
Oh. Remember, I was sitting with Cogs, and it was had the cameras on him, obviously. We're hiding our beers, don't want to put it on camera. As soon as I kick 6, we'll just...
Oh, mate, it was get me another 10 beers. It was getting out of control there. I mean, the boys had played their... They had 3...
Went that quick, though.
Yeah.
3 tough games, didn't they?
You can't. Oh, you can. Bulldogs have done it, but it shows you history doesn't really lie. You need to be top 4, so you can get a home game or a spell. Because all
That
the
Brisbane
travel.
game was pretty much like our grand final.
Yeah, especially when you're
Yeah, but
interstate,
even the Pies as well.
interstate
that
teams,
one.
and if you got to travel heaps, like that would cook you home.
Well, you'd know, like being. I mean, at Freo, I don't think we played finals when you were there, but yeah, the travel involved. How did you go? Being, you know, obviously you're a WA boy, but like you're at Hawthorn. Yeah, you go to Freo for 3 years at Freo, and you're traveling every second week. Did you find it pretty annoying?
Yeah, mainly the ones on the trips on the way back, because the way over we're in business, mate, and I was up the front lane back in those big pods, you know, the big Virgin pods. We used to always have them on the way over, but on the way back when we had the midnight flight, it was always like in those little planes, and that was a little bit annoying. And especially like coming home after a game when you're sore and that, and you just want to be straight home, and you got to sit on a plane for 4 hours. You know, it's just like
And it's not even that. It's 2 hours before, get to the airport,
Wait around.
4 hour flight, get your car and bags, and then go home. And then you got to pretty much front up the next.
And when you're in the East Coast, though, like you only got short flights, so it's not as bad. You know what I mean?
They're
like
kind of fun.
If you're in Sydney, it's like you're in the air for an hour, and then you land. You know what I mean? Like when you sit there for 4 hours, that's a nightmare. Eh?
Yeah, well, it's amazing when you think about Dave Mundy, what he's done.
Yeah, how many Ks he's done? He's been around the world a few times.
Yeah, I know, the velocity frequent flyers.
Oh, it'd be heaps.
Platinum, surely.
Yeah, I'm platinum, mate.
yeah. You are platinum.
When you're at Freo, you just get, because you fly business too, you just get platinum.
Not if you're down at bloody Peel Thunder, mate.
I haven't been in business flight like since then, really, and I'm still platinum. I don't know how I've held on to it. But
I got platinum from filling me car with fuel. Driving down to Mandurah every second week.
You should do what my mate does. He buys like he gets what is it called, credit cards. So he gets the points, and then he cancels his credit cards after he gets the points. You know?
Does
So
he?
he has them for a while, so he gets all these Qantas
Just
points.
maximises the points.
He has to keep it for a little bit, and then he just gets rid of it and then gets a new one.
Oh, that is brilliant. Yeah, got the new RIXXs, boys. You don't come on Tommy Talks without.
Mate, you haven't gave me a pair of RIXX in bloody years, mate.
But I haven't been here. I've been in Perth.
You used to chuck them out to me, look.
Yeah.
Now I don't hear from you, mate. It's like, yeah, you mean locker, you're bloody two doors up, mate.
You're
You used to
Brighton, mate.
you used to just leave me in my locker, like, yeah, Brad. Make sure you post the Instagram.
Bradley's been on a photo. You've been on a video shoot and everything on the boat.
Yeah,
That's some good times in WA.
great,
Good nick then too, ain't there?
Yeah, he's in good nick.
Shut up, mate.
he had the 8-pack and the Corona in the
He
hand.
got the 2-pack. I actually got a photo from that day. I might post it later.
Yeah, it's a cracker. Put the new ones on. Now, who wants the? I got the brand new Orbit Rose Gradient Brown. These are the.
Give us a look at them first.
These are brand new. Now these are the champagne. They're the Wolf Greys.
Oh, I love them ones.
There's a Wolf Grey for you, Bobby, and then the Rose for,
I like this colour.
for Bradley. Now throw these on. I'm going to ask you a question when you're wearing them. Give us a look at them. Oh yeah,
I feel Hollywood here, mate.
yeah. You've always loved the Orbits. I knew the Orbits are you boys. RIXX and Retirement's the segment. Set the scene. You've both made billions of dollars, right? And you can retire anywhere in the world, and you can take your RIXX Eyewear with you, right? So you're probably in the beach, so somewhere it's sunny.
Yeah.
What's the one location in the world that you would love to settle with the family, and why?
Oh, that's a good one. I reckon I'll definitely go somewhere sunny near the beach where I can surf, but where there's not too many people. You got anything in mind, mate?
Well, you're a WA boy. I mean, that's like a Dunsborough setup, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but
In the world.
too cold
Hawaii?
down there. Too cold down there. Hawaii actually would be, Hawaii would be elite, I reckon.
Big waves, though. Can you surf big waves?
Maybe not that big, but I'm
You're
sure.
on the foamy, aren't you?
I'm sure there's some smaller ones, mate, that I can surf. But somewhere like that, mate. Or even just on top of Padang Beach, mate.
Bali. I haven't been to Bali in ages, but geez,
I'm there in 3 weeks.
Are ya?
Yeah.
Make sure you go to Fins. The RIXXs are on the wall there.
I'll
They're
go,
everywhere.
I'll wear my RIXXs.
Yeah, make sure you walk in. You take a photo for me there. Put a gram up in there.
I'll tag you.
Yeah, tag me. What about you,
I'll send my
Bobby?
BSB in the account too, mate.
I don't know. Like, I can't swim to save my life, so I'll probably go like somewhere where water is.
They're going all them.
I'll go back to the country.
Go to the desert.
Home city, hometown. So
Go to Las Vegas, mate.
I'll go to Vegas, sit on slappers with Big Sing and Zaki.
I'm sure Bobby Jr. would love Vegas. Be a bit loud.
Well, he loves it.
Or somewhere in like South America would be pretty nice as well. You You've been down there, you and
I haven't
Stephen,
got-
eh? Where did you and Stephen go?
Nah, me and Steve did Mexico,
Oh, yeah,
New York.
I mean, what's Cancun?
Cancun, yeah, just me and Stephen went out. No, good times, actually. We can't talk about
Swampy.
it. Big swampy. Fuck, you can sleep, the big boy. Have you met a man that can sleep
mate,
and
he
snort?
can sleep anywhere, right?
Mate, he can run and sleep, that man. And he can eat.
We'll leave it at that.
Jeez, he was good value. That is great. You're not doing too much travelling in this off season, like we said?
Nah, I just got Bali, so I got a wedding over there, and then got a good friend's 30th as well. So,
Yeah.
but be with the family, so I'll be pretty chilled on.
Yeah, love it. Well, anyone listening and watching as well, the new RIXXs, they're brand new. The ones that are on Bradley, we've got the Orbit Rose and the Wolf Grey on Bobby. They're honestly our number one sellers for 5-6 years with our 6th birthday around the corner. It's amazing that they're so hot still. So
Sure.
if anyone wants them, obviously discount code ACES, head online, www.rixxeyewear.com.au and check it out. Now, lads, we've got another sponsor, our friends at Caps. We've got 2 caps here, so you have to chuck your caps off and get your which one do you want. I didn't know what hat you wanted. Anyone out there as well, get down to Caps. They're in High Point. That's one shopping centre. They're in a couple others as well, but they've got all the brand new
No, I've actually got a pinhead.
the Homer headwear. Look at that. Look at it sit up. How small is he putting on his head?
I thought you got a pinhead, mate. That's why.
These hats fit anyone. You got pinhead or fathead.
Fathead.
You got a fathead?
Yeah.
See, get that one on there. Get that one on there. This is the Caps clanger. Okay. So
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect, mate. Perfect. You can wear them backwards, forwards, whatever you want. The Caps clanger. So this is pretty much the one clanger you've had in life, whether it's at the footy club or away or whatever. But the biggest clanger you've had, and why? Like, what happened? The Caps clanger.
Can I say buying a car and then selling it a few months later?
Yeah,
and
talk us-
probably losing about 40 grand after,
Yeah, that's a clanger. Talk to us about this.
I bought a Mercedes, yeah. So it was like,
How old
cost
were
me
you?
like- I was in Freo. It probably cost me about 85 grand or something. Yeah. And I sold it 6 months later for like 58. That's a clanger, eh?
That's a massive clanger.
Do not buy cars, Justin. Now I've got a $25,000 car.
What was the thought process? They just wanted that Mercedes.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm a big dog, yeah. Give me my Mercedes. And I'm like, yeah,
Driving down to Coburn.
That's a waste of money, mate. You don't do that in Perth. Maybe if I was in Melbourne, I would have held on to it, eh?
That is so. Why'd you sell it? Just didn't want it.
To be honest, yeah, that is pretty, and it was a smallish car, and I was just like, I need to get rid of this car, and then I wanted to get like a full drive, and then literally they said that's all we can give you, and I tried everywhere. Like the best I got was like 60, but that was like private, and I was like, you know what? I'll just give it to you guys, and I already put like a bit of money into the car, my own cash. So then whatever cash I put in, I just went and bought a new car cash. So I wasn't paying that car off. But yeah, that was a bit of a clanger, isn't it?
That is so funny. Yeah, that's a good clanger. I haven't heard that one before. That's a cracker. What about you, Bobby?
Mine probably, yeah, not buying a car, but I reckon I traded my car in about 3 or 4. I reckon my first year, I had like 3 cars my first year, just trading them in, didn't like it.
Just kept flipping them.
Get flipping.
Mate, don't do it. Trust me, I did the same thing. I was always wanting new cars. That's why I went got my first car, and then I was like, I don't like this car, and then another car, and then another car, and just kept changing.
It's funny how everyone, it's like any athlete, the first thing they want is a car. It's like, I don't know, it's a symbol.
Had a ute, and then it's like, far out, I want an SS, something loud.
And then he's got a ute again.
And then I got a ute again.
You're going back to the ute. That's great. What were your first cars?
One thing I would say right now, looking back, I wish I never did that like with cars, because cars are the biggest waste of money.
It's good for everyone listening.
You know what I
some
mean?
advice. You got to look after that cash.
Legit, like you never got to make money on a car. Like at the moment, cars are doing
Yeah.
right, mate,
I don't know. That Mercedes is going back to 85
Now I should
grand.
have held on to that Mercedes or the Commodore I had before that, because that Commodore was worth about 40 grand more than what I paid for it.
Really?
Because they don't make the Holdens anymore.
So you were actually on the money with your
I
cars.
was
You
on the
just
money
hold
at
them.
first if I held them, but yeah, they're not a good investment normally.
That is gold. That's a good clanger. There's our Caps clanger from Bradley and Bobby Hill. Now back to cars. What were your first cars when you started?
When I started with my first ever car.
Yeah.
My first ever car was a Hyundai XL. And then when I started playing, I had the XR6 Turbo, but I lost it when I lost my license 3 weeks after getting drafted, and that was in the news. So everyone knows about that.
Yeah.
You can Google
another
it.
clanger there.
You can Google it. Nah, just Google.
He's young. He's a bit, he's young and dumb.
Yeah, young and dumb. I was a bit like you after you didn't get your trade. I didn't want to go to the club after that. I didn't want to go back. I want to stay home.
Doing trades on documentaries and failing on them. That's great. What about what was your first car?
Oh, far out. What's those? I had like it was a Toyota, but it was like done up with like a fin in it, like black.
Had a Camry.
No,
The Dolphin.
It was something, but yeah, I got rid of that, and then when I got to the Giants, I got a V6 because I had my full license in WA, but it changes when you're
that's right.
in Sydney. So I was like counting down the days to get an SS. So I had a V6, a VF, and then as soon as I got my full license back in Sydney, just
Boys love their SS.
got a big
They're
SS.
loud.
Himmel loved it.
Yeah. All the Giants boys love their utes.
Oh, Himmel.
They were doing their utes
I
up.
think heaps of footy boys love their utes.
Yeah, like you go off-field development. They're like, "What are you doing with yourself?" They're like, "Yeah, we're just
Going
doing
hunting.
that. Yeah, going hunting or doing forward driving or doing up.
Himmel loves that, eh?
Yeah, they just love like
Go
fixing their
fishing.
utes.
I'm a mechanic.
Oh, it's great. Well, lads,
Homogenic.
it's been great to see you as well. We'll have to get out there and do a couple of sessions, boys. I'm trying to get back in the
Are
gym.
we getting invited to the RIXX 60th birthday?
We have the RIXX 6. Yeah, it's coming up October 13 at Bar
Where are we
Bambi.
having it? Where's that?
Bar Bambi, just in ACDC. Let me say that again. You know, if people go, don't do that because it just makes it look more fucked. You just go on with it. ACDC Lane. So next to Garden State Hotel. Is it hotel?
Melbourne. we're talking.
Yeah, in Melbourne. Yeah. Bar Bambi.
Yeah, just send the invite, mate.
Yeah,
Got me email.
mate, the invite's in there.
I actually asked him earlier before
To the bottom of the
before we
box.
started. I said, "Who's funny out of Tommy and Dill when you were at GWS?" And he said, "Dill."
Oh, come on, mate. Come on, mate.
Stupid stuff. You're
No,
funny,
dude,
mate.
that's
He's stupid. You're funny. He said,
We're both stupid. Let's be
Yeah, I
honest. Oh, Dill in the showers, mate. He doesn't like talking about it now. The things, just ask him what time it is.
He told me because when I first met him, he asked me what time it was, and I looked at his wrist. Yeah,
Some weird shit goes on in the
Hang
showers,
upside
doesn't it?
I remember you, mate. Balloons.
Right, that's a wrap from Tommy Dogs.
Wrap it up.
Bradley and Bobby Hill. Thanks, the lads. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, right,
Great
thank
chat.
Cheers, brother.